After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 540. Today is Monday, February 6th, 2023, as we are recording.
Spoon, please.
I am Marlisha, also known as Lady Furnico.
I'm Ty, also known as Princess and Gypsy.
We want to welcome all new and returning viewers to the Fun in the Woman Cave. If you're new, we're glad that you found us. We hope you enjoy it and that you return. And if you are returning, we're always glad to have you back. If you are new or returning, but you're in the shadows, and we'd like to become more active or more involved, you can subscribe. Just press the little subscribe button. It's a little red button on your right as you look at the screen, and I think above it or next to it there's a little bell, and you just tap that little bell and you will get notifications. You can customize your notifications as to how often you get notified, and that way you can be you can kind of bump us up a little bit and you'll get notifications of when we post. If you would like to take part in the alongs and the camaraderie and all the fun stuff that happens in the Fun in the Woman Cave, you have to do that over at our homepage, and that's phnpodcast.freeforums.net. Okay, and that's in the description box below the video, phnpodcast.freeforums.net.
Also in the description box below the video is a link for my booktube, Talia Nerds Out. My videos tend to be about as long as the podcast. Well, not quite that long, because we run about 2 hours.
Not today, though.
No, not today. I usually average about 40 minutes to an hour. Shocking, I know. I have opinions, but that's my booktube. It's linked below. I think both of our Etsy shops are linked down there. There are links.
Links. Mm-hmm. The links are below. Okay. Now, if you enjoy the podcast, please, feel free to do a thumbs up or a heart or something that can kind of bump us up in the podcast world so that people can find us. But no worries if you don't. That's fine. Now, let's see here. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I don't know what it was. Tea. Yes, I know we have tea. I have 4.
I have 3.
Okay. I forgot to bring I thought I brought it with me.
You did. It's over here. See, underneath your glasses case? Excuse me, guys.
Oh, okay. Thank you. We're doing the 12 Days of Christmas. It's a tea, not a kit, but a box collection. It's got 12 teas in it, and for each of the 12 Days of Christmas.
And they're held in like these cute little ornament things.
Yeah, so they have little, it's a little metal box with a little ribbon, so you can hang it on the tree or maybe put a garland up or something. And these are what's inside. They're single servings. And this one is Rooibos Pecan Turtle. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to feel about this. It's very strongly Rooibos, but it does have caramel and chocolate.
I'm nervous because I don't like Rooibos, and I almost didn't make this one.
Yeah.
If I don't like it, I just won't finish it. I have my Irish breakfast here, too.
And this is in my Adagio Woodland Creatures, but really owls mug. You can see the little owl there.
Because if there's even one owl on anything, she calls it owl mug.
It's evening out, okay. I'm not sure I would buy it again, but it's
incredibly weak.
Is it? You might put too much water in it?
Or it might just be that I find it weak.
That could be.
Because I actually put less water in mine than I did in yours, because I know that you like yours higher.
Yeah.
So, I have this in my Adagio Smiley mug, which happens to be
Emoji mug.
It happens to be, I think, my favorite of my mugs of this size.
My favorite one is the one I am currently using. Which means that sometimes it will be leaves, and sometimes it will be this one, and sometimes it will be a Christmassy one, and sometimes it will be the one that says Adagio on it.
Now, I have half my Irish breakfast in my Yeti, because I make my Yeti tea in the morning before I do live stream Liturgy of the Hours. I think I also have that linked in like our links, not in the description, but if you go to like our channels.
You do?
I think so. I think I put all my channels down there.
Yeah. Oh, my hair's a mess. Look at that. Okay.
Oh, your hair's fine.
Okay.
In my Keep Calm and Use Your Little Gray Cells Mon Ami mug, and it has the mustache, which is important.
Where did you get that?
I've had it for a little while.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had several, but the one I liked the best had it on the side, and it was just a really weird placement.
Yeah, you can't see it.
It was
Nobody can see it.
Nobody could see it. And then there was one that just said Hercule Poirot, and it had a huge mustache, but it was only on one side, and it looked like it was on the side facing me, which is like no.
So if I drank with it,
You'd be fine.
Yeah.
But I also want to see it.
Yes.
I don't want to be looking at a blank mug, so I purposely look a lot of times to see if it has it on both sides.
Or has something on both
And
sides.
yeah, and thankfully I've always liked to Keep Calm, and usually it has the crown on top, but this time it has a mustache. But this is Irish breakfast.
Okay.
This is cool, so it's not quite as flavorful as it was, but yes.
Okay, so let's see here.
Oh, quickly, my nail polish for today can't beat Royalty.
It's not brown like it shows over there.
No,
it's red.
it shows on this one that it's red, and it has a matte top coat, which I think I like the matte and the shiny top coats the best, and I tend towards the bright red to dark red, not the more orangey side.
Not more the in your face. Well, they're all pretty. In the
No,
face.
there are some pretty in your face like lipstick red ones, and I don't mind the lipstick red.
I like the wine ones. The
like this
burgundies.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But personally, I prefer the pearlescent white. But
I've never been much. I could see its place in wedding. It's just not one that I would prefer to wear. I've always liked red nail polish.
I don't like to be ostentatious. So.
I don't know why I've always liked it. I always thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to go into the alongs in just a minute here.
Yes.
So I am going to go through a lot of the rules because we didn't do it at the beginning of the month last time. So if those of you who don't want to hear the rules, you can just speed through. We kind of decided that every month we're going to do this. And the rest of the, once a month. So
Right.
one time out of
And
4.
we might find that we go as we go along more or less detail simply because you can only take part in it anyway if you
You're
are
on
in the
the
group.
online, yeah.
So some of the rules really aren't that terribly necessary for people not in the group to know.
Right. Unless they want to join, they want to know what's going on.
Right. I mean, the most important things, like the thing, not necessarily, we have to decide what's most important, but honestly, some things are just, if you're not in the group, it doesn't make sense.
Well, I have things bolded, and maybe that I would just do that all the time.
Yeah.
But anyway, the first one is the PHN Movie Night Make Along 2023, and this is a year-long along, and that means it's from January 1st of 2023 till December 31st, through December 31st of January 2023. So when you hit 2024, it's done. Okay. Projects can be, now this is important because it is a change. Projects must be knit, loom knit, crocheted, woven, or paper crafts such as journaling, origami, card making, etc. Okay, if you have a question, feel free to ask. Either Talia or I or Brenna or somebody will answer. Okay, we have lots of very knowledgeable people who've been in the group forever. We have great moderators, and so just feel free to ask.
A lot of times if I'm on the group, it tends to be when I'm harvesting for photos for this here. So a lot of times if you see me, it'll be about once a week, and usually I'm not terribly active because I'm a horrible person. You weren't supposed to agree with that. By the way, new shirt.
Rabbit. What was I going to say?
It matched my glasses.
I can't remember what I was going to say.
Okay, well, you were talking about the new rules about knit, loom, knits, crochet, and about how one of us would answer any questions. And
tag us.
Yeah.
Tag me, or Rena generally will tag me if I don't see it, because I'm only marginally better than Talia of just wandering around, but if I'm tagged, I will come in.
I know that both of us maybe should make a, not a rule, a
resolution
to, even if it's just like, well, one time a week. Now, I do happen to go on one time a week, but, something that increases our presence there a little bit.
Because I do enjoy it. I love our group. It's wonderful, and I need to be more active in it. I just have a lot of balls in the air sometimes, and then
sometimes we don't use our internet presence the best way.
No, sometimes I go right down the rabbit hole and adagio.
Most effective way is what I should probably say.
Yeah. better time management is necessary. Okay. Anyway, so you got the projects. I'm not going to go through all this.
No, I mean, just go through the things that are really important for people who, if you have questions and you are someone who's taking part in the alongs and you're really confused about something and the rules don't make sense from the beginning, ask us in the comments. But, I mean, for most people who are just watching who want to know about the alongs, I think I would tune out if I heard all the 20 million and one rules that we have and I'm not taking part. I just want to have the meat and potatoes so I know what I'm getting into.
The featured patterns and yarns for the movie along. Oh, because this is a new one, I do want to say that this has to do with the movie experience.
Yes.
Okay? The movie experience in the movie theater, or as they used to call it, the cinema. Okay? We're not talking about things that originated in TV. Even if they are movies, we're not talking about the things that originate TV. Yes, things that were books that are put in the movie theater. Yes, those are accepted because lots of movies, even the old movies, they were all done from books. So
yes.
So anything that originated in terms of how you visualized it in the movie theater.
Even if you personally didn't go to see it in the cinema,
right.
The fact that it could be seen there. You could have gone there, gone down the aisle, sat in one of the seats, had popcorn thrown at you.
Somebody messing with their cell phone.
Somebody, you know, talking loudly to their kid or making a snide remark to someone thinking they were terribly funny when they really weren't. That experience.
That, the smell of popcorn coming out, the stickiness of the floor. If you're in a theater.
Or,
okay?
the old time one where it was a lot more, genteel.
Yeah, genteel. But anyway, okay, so if it has to be on the silver screen, it can be a drive-in.
Yes.
It can be a drive-in.
In which case, a lot less popcorn thrown at you.
What about a airplane?
That still doesn't count as a cinema experience.
No?
I wouldn't call that a cinema experience. That would be like watching it on your, like a tape at home.
Yeah, okay.
It didn't premiere there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, okay.
I would never call that a theater because you're the only one watching that thing.
No, I'm talking about when they had it on the screen.
I still wouldn't call that because like doctor's offices.
They don't do it. No, but doctor's offices are TV screens. They are TVs. They don't have a projector or anything. It's a TV.
I would never call that a cinema experience.
Okay. Now,
because at least with the drive-ins, I can think of like something like I don't know. I think like the guys from Greece or something sitting on top of the cars and watching, even if that didn't happen.
It's no, you can. I mean, it's just
and that's just sort of a.
And you walk out and you go to the theater to get the popcorn. Or whatever,
it evokes the feeling of the cinema in a way that
it has to be. It can't be a made-for-TV movie. Okay, a TV original. It can't be an HBO movie. It can't be a Netflix original.
You're dipping into nostalgia of a period of time before streaming was the be-all, end-all.
Which doesn't mean the more modern movies like Avengers and things
because
are excluded.
They came out
in
non-streaming.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a movie that only came out streaming, even if it was Avengers, that, I don't think the Avengers have any that are only streaming.
No, but I think some of the newer things that are coming out
are. I agree.
So,
and
I mean, some of the movies, like a good case in point is the Amazon thing that they're doing with the Lord of the Rings.
Well, that's a TV show.
Is it a TV show?
It is a TV show, and it's...
I'm not getting into how good or how bad it is. I'm just saying...
That's a TV show.
It's a TV show. So, something like Lonesome Dove, which was a serial, which is long enough to be considered a movie.
Because, I mean, I wouldn't consider, even though I love the Pride and Prejudice with Colin Firth?
Okay.
Anyway, I can't remember the last name. He, it's considered a classic Pride and Prejudice, but it's a serialized, it feels like a movie, but it's serialized.
Serialized doesn't matter. Did it premiere as a movie?
I don't know how it premiered. I actually don't know if it was I had to check. I'm not sure how
because they have, what were they called? They were called, Lonesome Dove was one of them. They were called, I can't remember what they're called.
Because it's British, so I'm not sure if
Well, yeah, but it's the same idea. Okay. Anyway, it has to be with the movies.
Do some research. If you do research and can prove that something like this, the Pride and Prejudice, the one that everyone loves so much.
That's subjective.
Okay. It's one of the more recent ones. I think it's like 1990 something. I can't remember. It's not the one with the girl from...
I was supposed to ask. Keira Knightley. Yeah.
It's not with Keira Knightley. It's the one before that. And the only one actor I can think of it is Colin something or other.
Colin Firth
Firth.
or Colin.
He's played in like a couple other things where he played in the, another one where he has the last name Darcy. It's supposed to be, it's basically supposed to be based on Pride and Prejudice, and I can't remember what it is. But,
Okay, well, in any event, I think we belabored that enough.
so yeah, if you can prove that it came, if at one point it was a full-on movie, came out in the cinema, you win.
including a drive-in.
Including
okay?
drive-in, yes.
Premiered there. Okay.
Do they even have drive-ins anymore?
Yeah, there's one.
Really?
There's one in Winchester.
Oh.
There's not very many of them, but there's one in Winchester. And like Alamo is considered a movie theater.
But that is a movie theater.
Well, most movie theaters don't have a dining area.
Well, yeah, but
Okay.
that's like
No.
that's their
No.
Shtick.
That's their stick, but that's not what a movie theater is. We're including it because I consider it a movie theater as well. But
I think
it's-
it is technically a movie theater.
No, movie theaters do not have restaurants inside the theater, but we consider it because I think it's a hybrid.
Well, it's like a highbrow movie theater.
No, not when it has what it serves is like pub food and stuff.
Their calzone is so good.
I didn't have their calzone, but anyway.
It was really good.
Okay, so
I went there on a
featured
date
patterns and yarns are
way back when.
anything by me, anything by Talia, and anything by Laura Concert, who is Lollipop Girl Yarns, Lollipop Girl Creations, Talia's Franciscan Gypsy Designs, and I'm Lady Fernico Creations. So as long as it fits the parameters, and then you get multiple chances at a prize, and all that's in the thing there.
Just like Tea and Tails, if you can make a case for something, this is usually for a lot of our longs. If you can make a case for it, oh yeah, we will play with you.
Sometimes I'm really surprised by the creativity. Like,
That's part of what's the fun of it is.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
Because I like to see people just going like, how can I make this thing work?
How can I work around this rule?
Right. It's that's part of the fun of it. That's why it's like specific enough that you have to follow these rules. Because it's not like just
Blah.
blah, but it's unspecific enough that you can make okay. Broad enough, but not too broad.
Nope. Okay.
Just
Hashtag is PHN Movie Night 2023 on Instagram. And this is quarterly, so this one we'll pull for prizes 4 times during the year. So every 3 months we'll pull for prizes, and each successive time that we pull prizes will go, like if I went 1 to 10 for the first quarter, then it would go 11 until whatever, and then for the second quarter, and then from whatever to whatever for the third quarter, and so on. And then we do the pulling for the big prize, the all around prize is what it is, not much bigger than anything else anymore. But then I go from the whole year.
Right.
Okay. Let's see. PHN Race Set Go. Basically all the same rules, okay? Except that this is a quarterly. This runs from January 1st through March 31st, and there are no previous whips allowed for this one. And we already finished the month of January, so there's no frogs anymore. It's just new projects. Basically the rules are the same featured yarns and patterns, and the hashtag is PHN Race Set Go 2023 on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm no longer including the hashtags into the description just because I keep forgetting to change them. And honestly, it's in the
group.
It's in the group.
And Ren is really good at picking out when I forget to change the year on cut and paste. So.
And if you get confused about what we said or whatever, just ask. We will respond in the YouTube comments. I keep forgetting to change it.
And like I said, Brenna is our most active moderator.
Yeah.
And I don't know what we do without her. And then we have a couple others who are moderators, and we have lots of quasi-moderators. So, people who just have been with us forever and know what we do and how we work it. And if they don't know it, they'll tag us.
Yes.
So, okay. Let's see. That brings us to
Projects.
All right. Let me just get it to you. It's actually cooled pretty well. I probably won't get it, but it's not horrible. If somebody gave this to me, I would still drink it. It's not like I would say, oh, no, I don't want that. Okay. In my...
Yeah, it's now more caramel forward, but I definitely wouldn't be like, oh, yes, please.
Okay, in my Knitting's My Bag, large angel bag, is my Film Noir project, my Film Noir shawl project from the Scrap Shawl Pattern by Anastasia Sattel.
Since I'm wearing mine, you'll be able to compare.
trying to find where my hook is. I thought I had it. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I worked on this a little bit, but not much. You're not going to see a whole lot of progress on anything because honestly, we podcasted 3 or 4 days ago.
Right, exactly.
So we just didn't want to mess up your week and by not podcasting at all.
Yeah.
So in terms, and I don't mean like, what I mean to say is that you were waiting to podcast and
Right, I mean,
you
we
know.
could have gone till Tuesday and then kind of, given ourselves an extra day, but we already set up.
Yeah, and I don't like to wait. If we can do it on Monday, I prefer to do it because we never know what she's going to feel up to.
Mm-hmm.
So if we,
Well, we almost weren't sure I was going to feel up to it today.
yeah. Well, but the point is that we.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the whole reason that we try to do it Monday.
Yeah.
Instead of we don't plan for Tuesday.
Yeah.
So you can see that it is growing, but I honestly didn't do a lot of work on it because short time period and just.
Don't start putting the crochet hook in it. Don't you want to compare?
Oh, okay.
Because then you could see. I mean, they won't be able to see because unless I stand up and that'll be hard. Well, I guess I can.
You can kind of see there.
So yeah, you have quite a bit to go if you want to hit this length.
Yeah. So, I was wearing Lala's simple shawl to church today, and I love that shawl. It was a joy to make and everything like that. But
It was really fun to
it doesn't stay on my shoulders like I want it to.
There's a reason I don't care for the triangle shawls. I don't like the way they look generally when they're done. And I find them uncomfortable.
Well, I really like hers, and I never had any problem with that before, so I'm wondering if I put it on wrong.
Well, I liked making hers.
Oh, I love making hers.
I just don't like wearing hers or any triangle shawl.
It's my go-to if I have I need something warm and I have multicolors on. Mm-hmm. It's very nice in the wintertime. I have another triangle shawl that you gave me the pattern for that I really love. It needs to be reblocked. Recuerdos de Infancia.
That one for some reason doesn't feel like a triangle shawl in the same way. Maybe because you made it so big. I don't know. It also feels more fancy because it's fingering.
It is fingering, and it also has all that lace work in it.
Yeah, so it gives a different. It's not. You don't put that on to get really nice and comfy warm.
No,
that's different.
That's when you go to mass and you want to be dressed up, or you go out to eat or something.
Yeah, it's not the same feel. I'm not as worried about coverage with something like that. But if I'm wearing a nice heavy sweater and something like Lala's, not to pick on hers in particular, but just
beautiful.
an example.
It's beautiful.
Something like that, which is bulky, or if you have something even like Worsted DK, and it doesn't have lace, I want that for warmth. So I want a Linus blanket. This is my blanket I'm carrying with me everywhere, and I want it to be huge. I want it to be able to, like, I don't know, make it a tent or something.
Person eating blanket.
I want it to stay for the.
Yeah, I need it to stay on my shoulders, and I
want arm coverage.
Yes, and I made my Lala shawl bigger, and it is very warm, and it's a beautiful pattern, and I think that I just had trouble with it because I was trying to juggle multiple things.
Well, wasn't that also an early knit shawl for you? Mm-hmm. So I found it a very easy, fun pattern. I found it kind of addictive.
It was.
It went really fast. It's just not a style I personally prefer to wear. I think there's some people who really enjoy the triangle shape. Me, I like a lot of arm coverage. I also am very hippie, so I don't like anything that points in that direction and draws attention to that. And that's exactly what a triangle shawl does. So it's really not flattering for my particular body type either. So, yeah. That's why Mom inherited mine. And mine is in one of her colorways.
Forever Blue Jeans.
And I wish for her sake I made it a bit bigger. But I think I must have been working off the yarn I had. And
I could have made you more, though.
Yeah, I think I just went off what maybe the pattern said. And just didn't make it bigger.
But like, that's not big enough. I'm going further.
And as it turns out, you ended up getting it must have been smaller on me even because I have broader shoulders than you do. But beautiful shawl. I think we saw. Who do we see making it? Oh, what?
Ivy did.
Was it Heidi? You're right, it was Heidi. And she did it in the white. And initially I wanted to do it in the white. But you're like, no, I'm doing it in the white. And you dyed me the blue.
Well, you could have done it in white. I wasn't going to stop you.
But you were like, no, that's mine.
I was doing it. But I didn't care if you did it or not.
So I ended up doing it in blue.
I got mine. I got them both anyway.
Yes, you did.
because I don't have anything in my forever blue jeans if I didn't have that.
No, you don't.
I don't have much.
Do you dye that color anymore?
I haven't, but I can. You know,
Because that's a pretty colorway.
it is.
You should bring that back.
I'm going to have to do that, especially when spring starts rolling around.
You should also dye up the yarn that Davina gave you so I can use that for the socks.
But yeah, after I do paperwork and after I do all this other stuff. I mean, like I said, the hours in the day.
I thought you finished the paperwork.
Just about. I have to drop Davina's paperwork off at the courthouse probably when we go to Adoration on Thursday, and I have to kind of fine tune my numbers on the other thing so I can type it up, and then I'm basically done until taxes.
And I know you said you had most of the colors already mixed. Now I don't know how good they are anymore because you said that they don't always.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's for the most recent one I did.
Because I know you were talking about doing it in that.
There we go. Okay, let me just. Your turn.
Yes, it is. So, in my Knit for Brains Teapots bag the pattern is Thorin's Hooded Cow. The project name is Laura's Hooded Cow. So, just as the project name states, this is being made for Laura, and I am still in the hood part. I didn't get too much farther than I was because, I mean, it hasn't been that long. I did get a few rows. I am quite close to the point where I would have the eyelets hit where the garter edge is, and then the finishing up the hood begins. Because, I'm trying to remember, I think, I don't have one of the hoods here. I can't remember what you do after that point. Because there is something, well, actually, it might be just I seeing the top. I can't remember. But this is very close to, I think I'm looking at the light at the end of the tunnel, which is kind of cool. This is a very lovely yarn to work with. This is a very lovely free pattern.
Yep.
So, yes. This will be I think we determined it was the fourth one that I've knit.
Something like that, yeah.
And I do plan on casting another one when I'm done with this, because I've been wanting to make a one out of squash blossom. Shockers. No one saw that coming.
They had their eyes closed.
So yes, that is all I have to say about that one. I think that this will be nice, warm, and comfortable for Laura. I wear one of my hoods all the time. I mean, obviously I'm not wearing one now, but I constantly have one around. I want to do an orange one at some point too, because I already have a red. Oh, I mean to tear back the hood for the red one and do the smaller one because I really don't like the big hood.
I like the big hood.
I don't think it's flattering on me, and it doesn't serve the purpose that I need it to serve, which is to block the light better. It's just too floppy.
Right. Okay. Let me just get this started.
I probably should actually take the needles from this one and fix the red one before I cast on the yellow one. That would make the most sense.
Yeah, might be a good idea. Okay, in my B-Wing country bag, here Brittany gave to me, which I absolutely love, is my Country Roads blanket from the Jelly Roll blanket pattern by K.F. Jones. I haven't had a chance to go look at the bits and bobs yet, but here is the
Bits and bobs.
I only did like a row
Bippity boppity boop.
on the last podcast, so it's not really changed much.
This matured actually rather nicely. Again, I wouldn't pick it up, but
Yeah.
it's a lot better than it was.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's probably about
It tastes like caramel.
3.5 or 4, you know.
I could say a 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so it's
And I don't like rooibos.
Yeah, it's good. So I mean, I wouldn't, like I said, I'm not sure I would pick it up.
I wouldn't necessarily pick it up, but this would be something that would be a pleasant drink if someone handed it to
Sure,
me.
as long as it sit for a while.
Yeah, it would have to sit for a while. I
Yeah.
couldn't be like drinking in a rush and running out the door.
Yeah. So this is just a knit, you know, just straight knit, and I've been on this particular section forever. I mean, I'm just talking about this particular colorway. It's just because I only do like a row on the podcast, and I don't do it because I get busy.
Right.
And, you know, I'm hoping that I can remedy that. I've been doing a lot of reading in my free time, and I haven't even written in a while, and I have to do that as well.
Although hopefully with all the reading you've been doing, you'll start feeling fired up to write.
Yeah. Well, it's just a matter of finding the time to do it.
Well, writing is also something that you can read and put down a book if you need to and go and do something else. Same thing with knitting, actually, or crocheting. But with writing, if you're not in the zone and get jarred out of the zone, it's very hard to get back to writing again. You can't just pop up and down from writing.
Especially if you're not, like, I used to almost eat, sleep, and drink and everything writing. So I could do it then.
Yeah.
But I can't do it anymore because it wasn't healthy.
No, it's not. You have to live in the real world.
Yeah. And it's just not healthy. And I can see where authors may have trouble with their relationships because you really do close yourself off into, you know, the world you're working on and working in, and you can't do that when you have a family.
But you can imagine somewhat of what you had to get into, the mindset you had to get into. Think of when you're really, and this might not happen to everybody, but I know when I'm reading a book, I'm really absorbed in it. If someone comes in and interrupts me, it's jarring, almost like I got pulled out of that world.
Yep.
Now for writing, like, times that by like 1,000, because you're not only reading this world, you're writing this world. And
when you write, you're a part of it.
You're a part of it. You're role playing.
Yeah.
You're becoming these. You are in these characters' heads. You're with them. You're talking to them.
They're talking to
you. And so you are a lot more involved in the process. So it's a lot harder to get up and it will answer a phone call, or, you know, go and answer the door and deal with the mailman or the neighbor or whatever.
And for those of you who aren't authors, we're really not crazy. Okay, it's just the way it is. Art writers aren't authors. We're not crazy. It's just that's the way you work.
Yeah, it's a feeling. It's not necessarily. It's not because we hear
we don't
voices
hear voices
in our head. It's just like you have this very strong feeling. Feel the force, Luke.
It's you know, you're connected with something that creative in yourself, and it's just
it is.
It's hard to explain. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay. So, next for me is in my, this is another bag Laura gave me. I know somewhere. I must say on the inside of the bag. Oh, no, this isn't from Laura.
No, that's from
I keep saying it's from
Christina.
Laura. That's from Christina. It's my other bunny bag that's from Laura.
That's from Christina.
This one's from Christina because she gave me the matching hot pads I use all the time. Yeah, here it is. Mama C Creations.
That was a burst of caramel at the end.
So this is... Am I in the middle of the row? Possibly.
No.
Okay. So, I am in the middle row. I call this Project Hot Stuff. It is the Walking to Town pattern by Joanna Johnson. This is a Emma inspired pattern. And Emma, the Jane Austen book. I have it in red because during the Regency time period, it was very popular to have a red shawl, to have red accessories. Shawls, I think, were particularly common, and that was to show support for the military, who were stationed in different areas because they were expecting Napoleon to invade at any time. So you would see a lot of the officers in red. So, and this is Airport Hot Sauce. It's a color, as far as I can tell, is discontinued from Dragonfly Fibers. It's, again, another color that was one of my favorites. I have a fair amount of things in this. Usually I have actually it in a lot of color work. I think I did a whole bunny out of it too. He ended up going to charity because he creeped people out.
He was cute.
In retrospect, he was cute. His name was Tabasco, I think. Because, yes, even the ones I got rid of, I named. I put them up for adoption.
You know what happens when you have too many rabbits.
Yes, more rabbits. Especially since I had a mixture of boys and girls.
Yep.
So yes, this is a really pretty pattern. I'm getting close to where the ruffle will occur. Because there's a really nice ruffle that comes around here, and it looks almost like at the sleeve. So I think it'll be a nice spring, summer shawl. So I wouldn't put it necessarily fall, winter. It's not quite long enough.
Right.
But yeah, this is an enjoyable knit. It's funny, coincidentally, I have started reading Emma again, so I should knit on this while I'm reading Emma. My ribbon frayed a little bit, so I ended up taking part of the fray and like wrapping it around and tying it so it wouldn't fray more.
What ribbon?
My Emma.
Oh,
has
the book. Okay.
Yeah, my book
Okay.
Emma has a ribbon in it to mark my place. So I guess it must, I guess I must have pulled a part of it and it started
I'm
unraveling.
not sure why this keeps not even up there for very long. It just there we go.
Maybe you need to set the time period that I think you can set how long it takes before it just goes.
And it doesn't do that when I'm reading.
Well, because you're actively doing something on it. it's not obvious that you're actively doing something here. But yeah, so I need to actually knit on this while I'm reading Emma, because this is actually something I could do while reading. It's not terribly like focus requiring.
Okay, my next one is in my Knit for Brains little drawstring bags. Nice size bag. Laura Concert gave this to me, and it's got an owl, so it's an owl teapot bag. And this is the Thorns Hooded Cow also. This one's for me, I believe.
See, I would probably call that elephant teapot bag, 'cause there's so many elephants.
I don't care. It has an owl on it.
Yes, because there's at least 1 or 2 owls on there.
So
it's
I'm on a purl row right now, and then I'm
yeah, because she has this. It's usually purl row, huge section stockinette, purl row. That's the way her version is. Mine is huge purl section, huge stockinette section. It's more accordion, which is one I tend to prefer to knit.
I like this. It's fun to work on, and
that's the way my first one I knit was.
Yeah.
The one that I only wear in the house because, for one thing, I seamed it on the wrong side.
Oh.
So it has like this, I know, unlike all the other ones, I had to put the seam up.
Up?
Okay, so usually the seam's supposed to be, the little bump part that shows you seamed it, it's supposed to be underneath where no one can see it.
Right.
I seamed it the wrong way.
But that can be a design element.
Well, also, another reason why, it's that colorway of Miss Babs. It's white with pops of like orange and all. It's a little bit too
something
to wear out. So that is my in the house. I don't care if I match with anything, or I generally sleep with something on my head. From what I understand, it's actually better for your hair, at least for my kind of hair. But I generally have any way to block light.
Okay,
And I get cold.
This is Miss Babs yarn. It's in the blue slate colorway, and I'm really close to starting the hood if I just sit down and do it.
This one, actually, if you're gonna mess up with the seam, this is the one to do it, because it has the one purl to separate. So, and that's the one I messed up on. And my other ones, it might have looked weird. So if you messed up on this one for that, it's fine. It'll totally look like a design element.
And I might do it anyway.
Right, because it would totally work.
Yeah. Because I never, if I like something, I'll do it.
I think that, like I said, for this particular version, it would look like it was planned because of the way the design is built.
That's all I have to say about this one.
Yep. So, oh yay! I actually am at the end of the row for this.
Yay.
So in probably one of my favorite drawstring bags, and it has somehow survived the disaster that is me, because I am terrible to drawstring bags.
It is
generally.
A survivor.
It's a survivor.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. You must be feeling well because you're doing that again. It drives me nuts.
Was the last week I was falling asleep instead?
Yeah, I don't know. The last week was a pain.
Okay, so this is my Velveteen Rabbit bag. It is little Skein in the big wool. I don't know whether or not she's making bags still.
I don't know. That was one of the early ones. I think it was one of the first one I bought you.
This has a little, like, I don't know what you call this, a little circle thing that says happiness on it. And I agree, the Velveteen Rabbit is happiness. And I generally put my little sock doctor on here, and it tells me the parts of the sock, which Davina will recite if I'm knitting a sock and she's paying attention. And it tells me how to Kitchener. Every once in a while I need a reminder. I actually like Kitchenering. I remember Amy, who didn't like, from
Round the twist. Not round the twist.
Knitting circles.
Knitting circles, yeah.
And Darren would have to do her Kitchenering for her. And I forget what she would do. I think she would weave in his ends, because he didn't like weaving in ends or something. So he would Kitchener, she would do the other thing. I think it was weaving in ends, which really worked out well. He didn't mind Kitchenering. I've always kind of liked Kitchenering.
I haven't done enough of it. I think I did it once.
Maybe. Usually, if you haven't worked a whole lot with like DPNs or like a smaller amount of stitches, you don't usually see a lot of Kitchenering.
I think I did it on a hat. Okay,
you might have done it on a hat. Yeah, I could see that. Maybe on the one for what's the one? The one Dan design, or Dan and Kate design. I
didn't do that hat.
Wait, not that one. The one they always talked about. Excuse me. The one Dan like talked about forever, and you knit like.
Oh, Barkley.
No. Because it does begin with a B.
Not barley.
No.
It was something like that.
You'll remember it later.
Yeah.
But regardless, in this bag, this is actually a K Patterns KF Jones of Bakery Bears fame. This is one of Laura's yarns. This is Lollipop Girl Yarns. I think she's now Lollipop Girl Creations.
She is.
This is Flamencoing by the Pool. And the first sock has this bright yellow, highlighter yellow. I believe that's actually the name of the colorway. In the cuff, heels, and toes. As you can see, I'm making progress on the foot. Nice, simple stockinette pattern. This is just like a nice, I need a sock to wear my shoe pattern. Because the thick socks, they work in my boots, but that's really about, I don't like wearing them in normal shoes. I like to have a nice collection of fingering weight socks and working shoes. Right. My Dragonfly Fibers one, that one did eventually pop a hole. So, it's to be expected. It had no nylon in it. I was concerned about it. It was lasting, so I was really hopeful. But I'm not shocked. And then my next sock will have this pink in there. Let's see. I don't even know if I probably don't have the ball band for it because I wound both of them up. This is the yellow. I got these really cool things from Knit Picks, and I think I got them for color work initially. And I end up using it, like, if I have multiple skeins of yarn in there. Now, I have used this for color work as well. But if I have, like, multiple skeins for, like, heels and toes and that kind of thing, I've been starting to put them on here because then it's less to tangle together. Mm-hmm. So I find it more convenient. And when you're actually using it, or when you're popping it on, you can pop this up to wind it on and close it later on while you're using it or whatever. So it's convenient. Knit Picks sells multiple sizes of these. I have larger ones too. I don't even know, like I said, when I picked them up, what exactly the context was. It probably had to do with color work.
I remember when you picked it up. I just didn't know how you did it.
But yeah, I use those fairly often.
Okay.
So,
in my PH and 10-year podiversary bag by the lovely Anne and Gander now. Okay. She did this for us for our 10-year podiversary, and apparently she's still making bags. I thought she was going to close up her shop. I think she intended to close up her shop.
I think it's hard because it's something she enjoys. I think
I think it is, and I'm glad she's still doing it. I don't know if she's doing it as
she might not do customs anymore. Maybe she just does customs. I don't know.
She's got a shop up, so if you're still interested in her bags, we always want to tout Anne because she's amazing.
She's excellent, and I can see when it's something you enjoy, it'd be very hard to give up. It's a hobby as well as a
and I think she's doing a lot more quilting too.
Right, and I could see that.
Yeah, but she so she's doing that. Her shop is open, so if you want to look at that, you feel free to tell her that we're plugging her, and that you intend to visit. But in this bag is my Strawberry Shortcake Baby Blanket project, and this is from the Cerebelle scarf pattern. I saw that somebody tagged me. They'd finished a Cerebelle scarf baby blanket.
Oh, on Instagram or on?
No, on PHN.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if it was Sensiday or if it was I Know Who You Are. I forget who it was.
Because Renna loves that pattern.
Yeah, she does. It's a great pattern. It's really it's addictive, and it looks so pretty.
I think I tried to start one at one point. I either tried to start this one or I tried to start the shawl, and I decided it just wasn't for me. I think my hands started bothering. I can't remember. I just did.
Oh, you mean the scrap shawl?
I either try to start the scrap shawl or the Cerebelle, and I can't remember which one it was. And I decided it wasn't for me. And I was like, okay, if I want, someone else had to make it.
I was afraid that the fuzziness was going to interfere with the pattern the way it looks, but it doesn't. It's working very well. You just have to make sure you hit the holes where you're supposed to hit them because they're a little less defined. And if you tink back, you're in trouble. So I have to make sure that I don't make any mistakes.
I'm sure it's not like unforgivable.
It's pretty close.
Is it?
Yeah, it's pretty close. So for tinking back, it catches on itself. This particular iteration.
Because we didn't look to see what it was made from, how fuzzy it might be. We just all kind of assumed.
Mm-hmm. I didn't realize it came in fuzzy.
Yeah.
So it's very soft.
Well, yeah, I would imagine so. And I have a feeling this would become like a favorite blanket. Mm-hmm. It just has that feel.
I probably won't get the ice yarn in this iteration. I would probably get it in some of the ones I've gotten in the past where it's not so fuzzy.
Well, maybe take a note of what the tag says and, write that down somewhere, like this is not the one I want or whatever. Yeah. I don't know where you'd put that, but
Yeah, I have no idea. Pieces of paper is not, I don't need more pieces of paper. So yeah, that's all I have to say about this.
Okay, so that leads us on Sorry. Do you have any graphic novel?
No.
Any FOs?
No.
What are FOs?
What are FOs are extinct creatures.
They are. I have not had an FO in a while. Okay, so shop news.
I feel like I just had one, but I don't know what it was.
I mean, I'm sure. I know I finished socks this year at some point.
I know I finished some things, but
It feels like it's been half an eon.
yeah, and I don't know if it was this year or not.
That's true. I'm not sure if I finished something this year. I feel like I finished a pair of socks, but I'm not sure. So, in this bag is a design. Voila. This is my Knit Nerd Talia bag that Laura made me. And
it's ginormous.
It's ginormous.
I love mine.
I've made quite a bit of progress on this pattern. I look forward to the point when I will be able to show it to you. Now, the shop has actually been keeping me busy because, as well as fatigue and overstimulation, which I have been having a fair amount of, I've gotten a whole slew of orders that I am trying to keep up with. So that has taken my crafting time. Now, the way I do them now, I can have several going at once, but still, it's the same amount of work, so it's going to take the same amount of time. It's just the time is handled differently.
Right.
So yeah, this is for whatever reason a busy period. I don't know if people are preparing for Lent. If everyone saw that my shop was back up, I'm like, hey, looky there.
She's open.
And
for business.
I think that what helps me is that I'm not sure that there's a lot of other shops that do truly custom rosaries. I do custom cords. I do where people will be like, okay, I like those beads. I like those that centerpiece. I like, that cord. So I want that color, that bead, that centerpiece. But can you make it to look like this instead? Mm-hmm. So they end up building a completely, it's like a Build-Your-Bear, but for rosary.
Build a rosary.
It's Build a Rosary. And so people end up getting very personalized rosaries and chaplets and things. So
it's working.
It's working now? Okay. So I think that is what kind of bumps me in some ways, gets me a little bit more attention. I'm currently working on a couple orders from Spain. Same person, but yes. It's always exciting when I get someone from outside the U.S. I'm not quite sure why that's more exciting, but it is. So exciting.
It's doing it a little bit. It's not giving me all my calories. I've been having trouble with my Fitbit lose it sync, and so.
Did you restart your phone?
No.
Okay, well maybe try that afterwards.
Yeah, I'll try it afterward.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have more shop?
No, that's it for me. I'm actually starting to get tired, so I know that.
Okay. My shop is basically nothing's going on except I had a very big order for me. Not very big, but a big, good size order. Somebody bought
because you've had very, very big.
Several skeins of yarn for me, and I have to put that together after we're done with the podcast. And I'm hoping to dye yarn soon. And so keep an eye on the shop for that. I do have some stash enhancements in the interest of getting Taya out of here. I'm going to try and go through it pretty quickly.
Is it already open?
No.
Oh, it's not the book one? Oh, yeah, someone's already opened.
This is from Adagio.
Oh, you're working on the bottom, right?
Am I?
Yep.
Okay.
Because
I was
Adagio.
wondering about that. This is the remainder of my birthday order from Adagio. So.
There you go. Oh, they didn't do one of their weird boxes.
Well, it's not as big an order.
Yeah. I ended up sending a return to Amazon because I was trying on a bunch of clothes for Amazon because I'm trying to change the face of my wardrobe, and the only way I could try on clothes is to get them from Amazon and send them back. How does that always happen to you?
I've got a free trial box February 12th, so
that always happens. I have had that once. How many times have you had it? Like 5 times?
I got to think here. I'm gonna have to start it earlier because I'm not gonna be able to. I have a colonoscopy coming up.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. Although colonoscopy doesn't affect your teeth.
Right. Well,
that's like one of the few things you can have.
So yeah, I'm gonna have
to. That is hilarious.
I'll probably start drinking it this week.
It's probably because when you purchase, you do a fair amount of. I feel like I've done a fair amount of time, but you do. I think you just do a bulk at a time, or they see that how I don't know. I don't know.
So I'm looking forward to that.
You are the magical person of free boxes, trial boxes.
So I've got these were things that were gifted to me. I've got.
They are very generous, the people over there.
Oh, they're very,
I
very
forgot
generous.
to bring with me. Someone had gotten Ranger Fuel tea, and she doesn't care for the tea, so she sent it to me.
Oh, did you get it?
Oh yeah, it arrived. I just forgot to bring it with me.
Okay.
Yeah, remember I told you it was one of the packages I received over the weekend. She wrapped it really pretty and gave me a card.
I didn't see
Yeah, I made sure to thank her on Adagio, but I got that, but I forgot to bring it.
Well, I have another French gray salt. Remember, somebody else gave it to me, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different teas.
Oh, that's your.
I'll share with the friend with the box.
Oh, you can think of someone to share that with.
Yeah. Okay. And then I have these.
So is that the door?
It's Davina.
Oh, okay.
Somebody gave me a pumpkin spice Russian and a pumpkin spice Moscow Mule. I have no idea what to do with these. You guys may get these in prizes, not because I don't want them, but because I don't know what to do with
This
them.
should go in a prize.
It might.
Yeah,
and then
it might.
these, but I appreciate this. I have a couple of these because I also got them as freebies.
There was one that I liked. It was like a chocolate one that looked good.
And I have a molten lava cake.
I think it's the one
recipe.
that looked good.
Now these, you've seen my canisters before. I ordered some canisters.
Did you order the spring, winter?
I ordered all.
You ordered all.
Each color because I wanted to try and get my tea stuff a little more organized. So that's the tea, and most of this stuff. The only thing I bought in here were the canisters. Everything else was a gift.
I think I'm going to organize some of my things where the bigger ones are on the bottom, and then if I have to put things in front of it, I put the little ones in front, because then I could still see the label on the big one.
Right.
But I'm making better use of my space. And I know eventually, just by the way I set things up, there will be rows. It's just inevitable. Right. Now, unless I want to have the, leaning tower of tea.
Right. I had to be very careful where I'm at, too. Now, this is the books that I was telling you about.
At least you're against a wall, though. I'm not against a wall.
This is the books that I was telling you about that I got. It's a St. Francis de Sales book set, and this is a hardcover set.
I did get it. Well, no, I'll show that book, too.
This is a hardcover set of 4 books.
Because I got a pretty set of books, too, but that's a little booktube.
So you can see, they all have this kind of cover to them. Whoops. They all have this kind of cover to them. St. Francis de Sales.
That is so gorgeous.
Is a doctor of the Catholic Church, which means he significantly impacted how, theology and all that kind of stuff. So he was a very sought after spiritual director and very, very intelligent, and his works are still helping people. I don't know. Probably.
I don't see a ribbon, but that doesn't diminish the value at all.
This is the thickest one. This is sermons throughout the year.
It's really beautiful.
And this one is The Catholic Controversy, A Defense of the Faith, An Introduction About Life, and Consoling Thoughts. And the Consoling Thoughts and sermons throughout the year, there are paperbacks that have like bits and pieces, so I have a couple of those. And I have a small introduction to About Life. But having this nice set is, my parents gave me birthday money. I didn't know what to get with it, and I just loved the set, and it was on sale. So, all right,
And even though she missed the sale, I found a coupon that gave her the sale back.
Yep. And then this, I asked my husband to make sure it was okay because I felt like I was spending a lot of money. Expression Fiber Arts, every once in a while, she's fantastic anyway. She's always doing stuff. I mean, every so often she gives away this mountain of yarn. I mean, and she's not cheap. Her stuff is very high level, high caliber stuff, and she's got beautiful colors. And I can't quite afford them.
Right.
So she had a mystery sale, and she had it a DK type available, and this is a silk blend. And I got her and I noticed I put in for this DK set, and I looked about an hour later, and they were all gone. So this is a 3-color set. I can't.
And you got some really pretty colors.
Does it say what the colors are?
So let's see. You have. No, it just says Oopsie Mystery Pack. So it's not going to have.
So
those are some pretty oopsies.
Yeah, they are. The one on the bottom is my favorite, although I like the one on the top just as well. It's really, really pretty. The yarns, the colors are very vibrant.
And I think of it as the American flag colorway because
I don't know if you can see that without. There we go. It's
yeah,
absolutely
it's
gorgeous.
red, white, and blue.
It's absolutely gorgeous. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's a DK weight. It's about 650 yards, 600 yards, something like that. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with this, but it's really, really pretty. I could actually theoretically use all three of these together.
Yeah. It's one of those things that might sit on your shelf until you find something that works for it. Sometimes you just have to wait.
It's called the Dewy DK. It's 70% superwash merino wool, 20% nylon, and 10% silk.
That could be a pair of socks right there.
It's 684 meters. Oh, 750 square yards. Is that what's 750?
Yeah, 750 yards.
So it's 750 yards. So it's more than I thought. Oh, because it's DK, not worsted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, yeah, that's all I have for stash enhancements. Plenty, I would say.
I would say so.
I just, that was the end of my kind of birthday type of thing.
Yeah.
We do have a live stream, don't we? This is Friday?
Is it second week?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I have gone ahead, and because I kept having issues remembering to schedule, in Patreon, the reminders are set up for the whole year, already pre-set up for Patreon, so they should automatically go through. They'll only be edited if there's a change for some reason in the scheduling. But yeah, there will be no forgetting this year because it's all set up. You might see on the channel that there's lives that y'all can see already set up for certain months. Those are just the lives that are available to everybody. There are also unlisted lives that you can't see unless you are in Patreon when those reminders pop up. Mm-hmm. So you're going to see, like, I think it's October.
It's the first of the quarter.
Yeah.
So you'll see January.
Well, not January.
No.
Yeah.
January, April, May, June, July, and September.
Not September, October.
October. So
those are the ones you'll see. So if you're confused and be like, wait, not all of them are here. No, it's okay. Most of them are unlisted. They are there. It's only the ones that are available to everybody.
Do you have the one Zoom that's up?
That reminder's set up too, including the one that's open.
The one that's open to everybody, I think, is in June or July.
It's in June because it's supposed to not coincide with the July one.
Right.
That's live open for everybody.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
So.
And this was a suggestion from our Patreon.
It was, and the Zoom for everybody, which is in June, has a different link than the Zoom that is the normal Patreon only Zoom. Just because it's not fair to the Patreons to have, since we use the same room all the time, it's not fair to the Patreons to have that room open to everybody more than that one time a year. So there is a special room just for the open to everybody. Patreon Zoom.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that takes care of that. Let's see. I think that's basically it. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No.
Okay, so she's getting tired, and
I guess you'll see. You'll be seeing new wardrobe that'll keep popping up.
Did you want to say something about it?
No, because honestly, what I'm going to say, I don't have it all here.
Okay, so we want to wish you all a blessed week, but before we do that, we want to thank the people who commented, and I got everybody I could see. Wendy, who's MacGyver, Paula, Brittany, Looney Hiker, who is our Rolling Stone, Chronica Crocheting, and Margaret and Kara, and anyone else that we may have missed because I got my show notes in and you guys were afterward. We're very grateful for your comments. We always like to hear from you, even though we don't always get to respond. I think I did get everybody this time. So we want to wish you all a very wonderful, blessed week full of knitting, crocheting, cross-stitching, crafting, whatever it is that makes you happy. And we hope to see you here again for the Fun in the Woman Cave next week. I do this every week. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast episode, I think 540. That's not what I wanted to do. I think it's 540.
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it's 540.
A little bit past that, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, 540.
Okay. You'd think I'd know.
Episode 540, and that's a wrap.
Bye.